Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm delighted to have this session on LinkedIn with Advitya Gemawat, a student I've known for over 5, 6 years, maybe since the time he was in high school, rising junior at high school. He's graduated from UCSD and is now working at Microsoft as a machine learning software engineer. So it'll be fun to know about this specific part of your life, which is now you've got a professional sort of job in an area that you've probably sort of been so interested in, passionate about while in your senior upperclassmen years at UCSD. What is it that defines a machine learning engineer?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So in terms of the definition, honestly, the definition can vary depending upon industries and companies because different companies can have different expectations towards a data scientist or a machine learning engineer. But the way that I understood it is that a machine learning engineer usually deals with building large-scale software and systems and infrastructure to augment and accelerate the overall data science machine learning lifecycle and accelerate the productivity and workflow of a data scientist. So in simple words, so a data scientist, let's say, analyzes data. And there's various steps to analyzing data in terms of cleaning, pre-processing, building models, doing predictions, trying inferences. And machine learning engineering really kind of revolves around the software aspect of it, providing data scientists a scalable platform to do their experimentation and to kind of execute various components of that life cycle in a more seamless way so that they can just worry about the actual analytical code and the analytical workflow rather than, let's say, getting bogged down by systems or software or scalability issues.
So while you were in university, there were projects that students typically end up doing, and transitioning from a data science major to then thinking about doing machine learning engineering projects. How did that happen? What opportunities did you grab? What internships played a role in making you choose this path?
Yeah, so there were predominantly two experiences that really kind of made me motivated towards ML engineering. The first was a research lab that I joined in my sophomore year. So I reached out to this professor that I was really interested in their work. I attended a lab tour, and I also kind of asked them if I could have a meeting with them, and I shared my profile. And ultimately, I kind of started volunteering in that research lab where I worked around projects surrounding machine learning systems, which is kind of an emerging research area, which deals with building systems for to kind of accelerate large-scale machine learning and deep learning workflows. So that was a pretty distinctive experience from from the experience I had previously, because my original experience was very data science heavy. And in here, I was dealing with more of the lower level software and systemsy work that kind of powers data science workflows in general. So that got me pretty interested initially. And later on, I got an internship, which was on machine learning engineering, which was on a particular kind of machine learning workloads, and which was on optimizing those machine learning workloads using certain algorithms or approaches. So these were the two major experiences that kind of really made me motivated, because this would kind of have higher impact in terms of offering software and systems that could kind of accelerate a whole bunch of machine learning applications for a whole bunch of data scientists, potentially across a whole bunch of industries, solving a whole bunch of problems.
So if we kind of rewind a little bit, as a college student who's undecided, has got into a data science program or a computer science program, it's not very sort of common to discover sort of what you would end up doing in your first year, or even by the time you're in your second year. So what opportunities did you think, or what learning, what could be specific things students should know about the tools that they need to sort of master to become a machine learning engineer? optimizing workflows is probably the output, and coming up with scalable solutions for data scientists is also perhaps the end goal. But as a regular data science student, a computer science student, what additionally do you have to study and practice to become an engineer?
Got it. So I'll kind of handle this in two parts. The first would be related to tools and things to learn. The second would be in terms of kind of how to get the learnings you want or getting opportunities. Because obviously, as college students, I really wouldn't expect them to know everything about a particular field. Machine learning is way too broad. There's various kinds of intersections in different kinds and classes of work. And it can be really open-ended and perhaps even overwhelming to people who are kind of deciding the kinds of projects that they want to do. So first part, related to tooling, there are, let's say, programming languages like Python, which are very popular for doing machine learning and data science work. I would, let's say, recommend students just starting out to perhaps utilize online websites. And I can kind of link those to you later on as well, but there are online websites like DataCamp, and there's also other websites like Coursera, edX, etc., that offer a lot of introductory machine learning courses, introductory programming courses. And aside from programming, knowing about fundamental machine learning concepts and statistics concepts is also pretty important. So knowing about the basic machine learning approaches, how they work, what assumptions they kind of have, why they kind of do, how they kind of do the things they do is pretty helpful. Knowing about the fundamentals would be pretty important. So those would be like some of the major tools or areas to focus on. It's kind of this combination of understanding how machine learning algorithms work and combining that with having the ability to program those models or to be able to utilize those models. And also a little bit of statistics and also a little bit of product sense on the side to kind of consider the context or domain of the problem while solving these things. This can definitely seem very overwhelming and a lot to unpack, which brings me to the second part, which is related to learnings. As I stated, I don't expect them to know everything. And so really the one major guiding principle I had towards my learnings was to, long story short, attend as many events as you possibly can. Doing something as specific as enrolling in particular newsletters of particular academic departments, navigating to their websites or navigating to different professors' lab pages, knowing about the kinds of work that is going on, knowing about different kinds of events like research showcases and lab tours and things like that, and other kinds of academic and professional events outside the classroom. Just attending those events kind of really exposes you to different lines and kinds of work that people are engaged in. You can get an opportunity to ask questions to them and also kind of see what you're interested in and what you would like to delve deeper into.
Thank you, Aditya. I think that pretty much sums it up. Just to let you know, at Edbrand, we've also sort of grown to start virtual student-led clubs. We support students with budgets to start these global clubs. They find their membership pool. They also find panelists for events. Very looking forward to introducing you to some of our tech-oriented club leaders. There's the Hackett Society for kids who are interested in computer science and product. There's also the math and sort of now obviously a bit of data science involved in that math club, which is called the Raymond Sphere. Looking forward to putting those connections in place and having you join student-led sessions as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. And as usual, wish you all the best. And I'll keep following the lovely work that you do.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.